Hello, 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 and happy Wednesday. All right, ready? Countdown. 3, 2, 1. We are live. All right, you guys. First of all, this has been already a week. Monday was like the longest, and already we are in Easter week. We are already seeing some of our friends going through, or maybe you going through Ramadan halfway, right? It's just time is going by. I'm thinking 2025, it's just a few steps away, and it sounds so sci-fi. I thought the same thing about 2023, but now it just sounds so normal. So what are we talking about this week? Well, this month, we're going to actually be talking about how you can create a new space in renewing your mindset, your health, your wellness, your spirit. It's important that we take a look at these things all the time, but the summer reminds us even more, right? Because we're going to get outside more. We're going to be getting in the sun more. We need to take care of our skin more. We want to get into bathing suits and things like that. So it's like, oh, now I'm paying attention to how I ate and things like that. So we can use those things to help us get back into a mindful way of thinking and lifestyle. It's okay if you fall off. You don't really fall off. You just stop being mindful in this particular area. You start being mindful in some other area. So it just helps you kind of open that up and open up, right? So you're not just looking in this tiny little focus, but you're opening up. You get really grounded and feeling the things that you want to feel for yourself and taking care of yourself in your life, cleaning up the things you want to clean up, spring cleaning, right? So it's decluttering your mind, your body, your spirit, as well as all the things around you. And those are going to be the different things that we're talking about throughout the week, as well as throughout the month, okay? So I'm going to do a little bit of a recap of what we talked about this week, because what this does is it helps us take a look at, if I've got these things blocking me, how do I work on them? What's the first step? And in every one of these things I'm going to share with you, you can use these tools as a first step, right? So today, you'll notice on my Facebook page, you'll see that we talked about, this is Alcohol Awareness Month. And you might be like, well, yeah, whatever, not a big deal. But what about if we talked about things that we thought were not a big deal? What about if we allowed ourselves to talk about those difficult areas in life that we think that we can't? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about, within April, there was April Fool's Day, right? That's fun. We can use that to have some fun. But then a couple days later was making sure that you're being honest day, right? Lies. Taking a look at those lies. How might we be lying to ourselves? How might we be lying to others? How might others be lying to us? How might we be buying each other's lies so we don't have to move forward? It's not anything to be in judgment of. It's something to be in awareness of. So this is not to look at these things and go, yeah, oh man, I really need to change that. I can't believe, blah, blah, blah. That's throwing ourselves into judgment and looking at ourselves as shame and guilt and not good enough. That's not healthy. And that's not where you get to take this. Where you get to take this is, oh yeah, I can see that. Huh, I'd really like to get myself into being mindful about that. Or I don't really care. I want to keep doing that. I'm perfectly fine. And then that's okay too. Wherever you are in life, it's your life. You have every right to do whatever you want with it. If you want to do even better with it, then these tools are going to help you in that regard. Okay, so before we get started, go scroll down to the bottom and click on the like, whichever one. I like to do the little heart, it's easy part. And then click share, and share wherever it is that you want to share it to. For me, I share it to my story, which you'll see it popping up as I do that. You'll also see that I'm sharing it to my group, which those of you on my group, hi guys. If any of you would like to be in the group, you can go to tinyurl.com/create ease. Create ease. And really what that group is about is just more of this information and tools and questions, and people in that group, they just connect and they can support each other through Messenger. My group is shy, so they like to talk to each other through Messenger, or they text me or message me. So if you want to get in there, you definitely get in there. You don't have to be shy. But you'll notice that because folks sometimes feel like they don't want to talk about their anxieties, they don't want to talk about their stressors. It's okay to start off shy, no big deal, right? That's totally okay. All right, and then I'm also going to share it to my Powerful Woman Networking group. All right, so if you're not able to use that link that I shared with you, you can also look up the group Relief from Anxiety and Negative Thinking. Or you can just text message me and I'll invite you, okay, to make sure that you get the supports that you need because you deserve it. All right, number one, what we're going to take a look at first, you want to take a look at taking care of your whole body, right? So number one is being able to see everything that you put into your body, whether it's food or drink, is a chemical. Your body is like a bag of chemicals, and everything you put into it reacts with those chemicals, and it'll either react in a positive consequence or a negative consequence. So it's important that you allow yourselves to start taking a look at, how is my body reacting when I take in this chemical, whether it's water, because sometimes we might be taking in too much water and we're not getting enough of our electrolytes, right? We're kind of washing it out. So taking a look at those things. Now me, I have to be careful because if I take in some drinks that have electrolytes, then there's too much sodium and my body gets really weird with sodium. So those are just things to kind of notice and take a look at. It's important that you're aware of what those chemicals are doing for your body. That's it. Super easy, super simple. Okay. Also, Tuesday, we talked about how it's really important that you give yourself permission to notice when you might be telling yourself a lie. Now you might say, well, I don't lie to myself. I'm just fine. That's not something that I do. Notice where you might be telling yourself, oh, well, I need to do that, but I can't. Or I should do that, but I'm too busy here. Or I don't have enough time there. Or I'm not a good this, or I'm not a good that. Those are lies that you're telling to yourself. That's unhealthy. That's unkind. You might also be telling yourself, you might not even know it. You might just feel anxiety. You might just feel stressed out, but you're telling yourself, oh, this is getting worse. It's getting so much worse and it's getting worse. Now it might be getting worse, but if you're not addressing it, you're just building yourself up. So instead of telling yourself only it's getting worse, this is getting worse and I need to get help, versus, oh, this is getting worse, I totally got to figure this out, right? That's a lie. It's a lie if you're trying to make yourself do something you don't have the skills to do. You might look at a situation and say, oh, it's that person over there. They're just so annoying. They can never communicate. Gosh, they're a pain in my butt. They've been a pain ever since, right? So whether you're talking about your kids, you're talking about your spouse, you're talking about your siblings, you're talking about your parents, what if you're actually lying to yourself and you don't know it? I have worked with clients over and over and over again and helped them create healthier relationships with some of the most toxic people, because those people did not know how to not be toxic. They weren't narcissistic, right? Narcissistic person is somebody who is trying to be toxic and they enjoy being toxic. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about somebody who's just selfish and self-centered and they don't know how to think about somebody else. They're not trying to hurt you, right? Their results might be that they're hurting you, but they're not going, let me see how I can hurt that person and make myself feel better. They might be so selfish that they're still doing the same thing. They might be so rude and so disrespectful. And then what I do is I help clients learn how to set boundaries. And I will even meet with them and their partner. And a narcissistic person is about meeting with you and fixing the other person, fix them. And no matter how you work with them, their focus is still on fixing and manipulating that person. Somebody who's just super selfish, once they start to realize, oh my gosh, this is really about me just being super selfish and there's other ways that I can do this and get my needs met. Oh, okay. I'll try. All right. They may not know how to do anything else but try. And I've worked with clients who've made the changes, made those things where everyone around them thought they were like diagnosed narcissistic. But they really just didn't know how to break through their own beliefs and their own thinking. They didn't know how to mature. they were stuck in such a level of immaturity and selfishness. Now, I also have met some narcissistic folks, and then I have to work with the client who is dealing with them on how to set some really strong boundaries. And unfortunately, they also had children together, so they decided they wanted to keep the connection. But I was actually able to help the narcissistic person be able to see some of their behaviors, and there was some changes. So I'm only using that as an example. Most people don't go up into that range, but around us now, you hear that term all the time, and everybody thinks everybody else is narcissistic. In most cases, they're selfish, they're immature, and they don't know how. But once they begin to learn how, and once you begin to learn how, you guys can begin to communicate and understand each other differently. Be able to address what your needs are. Be able to actually turn a toxic relationship into, we can talk to each other. Now, some people just have mental health issues, right? Maybe not narcissistic, but maybe they are, just developmentally delayed, right? That's a different thing. That's not the same kind of mental health you're used to, right? There's developmental mental health. There is damage that's happened to a mind. There's like ADHD, where a person's just like all over the place, and and they, like, my husband really can't deal with people like that. So and I've had other clients, one person's like super active and another person's like really relaxed, and they gotta begin to, one has to slow down and the other one gets to pick up a little, and then they can match each other a little bit better, right? So it's being able to come in and work together. Also, as an entrepreneur, being able to work with our partners, being able to work with our clients, being able to work with the people that we want to work with to make our business run smoothly, as well as set up boundaries to ask for what we need and to make sure those things are happening, as well as setting boundaries within yourself, noticing where you might not be being honest with yourself. Again, none of these things are out of judgment or out of criticism, or you should be perfect, none of that. This is about reaching a level of, oh, this is how I could do it. This is how I can help myself. This is how I can make a difference. This is how I can start being more honest and be more aware where I might not be, right? And then Wednesday's topic is about Alcohol Awareness Month. And the idea is, throughout these different things, and there's so many, but throughout these different experiences and challenges that we're going through in our life, right? So like, if we're not eating right, if we're not sleeping right, if we're not telling ourselves the truth, if we're having trouble getting others to tell us the truth, we're having conflicts, we're having dramas, we're just exhausted. And we just wanted to stop, right? You know that feeling? So there's ways that we try to cope, like drinking. What is the number one thing that people say when they're not feeling well or they're totally stressed out? Let's go have a drink. You hear that all the time. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. What I'm saying is that doesn't need to be our go-to. And we can go have a drink just to have fun. We don't have to go have a drink to try to deal. Now, let's say if you want to have a drink to relax, okay, but let's not make it every day. Let's not make it 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 a day. Instead, let's take a look at what are some other healthier ways that we can cope, because guess what? Alcohol itself is a depressant. So now we're already in kind of a having trouble coping. Okay, so I go and have a drink. All right, now I'm feeling relaxed. I'm feeling good. But this chemical in my body is slowly making me a little more tired and slowly dropping my emotional level, slowly dropping my inhibitions, to where now I'm just like, oh gosh, nobody loves me. I'm just a failure, right? So we could find ourselves in that place, or, oh, they just don't love me, and I don't know if I love them. And like, our emotions come up with all of these things, and they might be true thoughts we're having, but they're not as devastating as they feel with the depressant of alcohol. Or let's say we got the inhibitions are off, and I'm like, woohoo, all right, tequila makes us take our clothes off, yeah, and then we're just like, the next morning, now, of course, those are extremes. We might be able to do just a little bit of that and have the best time. And then the next day, the problems are there again. Well, it's okay. Friday, I'll go drink. But if you notice, that's like putting a bandaid on a wound. It's just going to get infected. It's just going to have more problems, right? It's not going to get improved. And if I've got this going on and I'm not really coping with it, then the next thing, whether it's little or big, if it's little, it's just going to be like making this thing feel like this. If it's big, it's going to make this thing feel like this. So we want to be able to work on those things as we go through. So you're going to keep hearing me say this throughout all of April, well, all the time, because it's just who I am and what I'm about. And if this sounds like a good fit for you, reach out to me. I do have 3 spots available. And what that's going to look like is we just have a chat. We take a look. Is this a good fit for you? What are some of the things that you're dealing with? What's coming up for you? Maybe I've got some tools that'll just get you started and help you see your roadmap. And you're just like, yeah, that's all. Which usually is not the case. But I have had some folks who are like, I'm going to do this by myself. I've got this. I was one of those. So it's okay. I don't blame you. We just get ourselves stuck in thinking we're not worthy of help. We're not worthy of putting the investment into ourselves. I've been there, right? Or you might say, yeah, I like that. I want to move forward. And then one of my 3 spots is filled. And then we continue working together and help you get this stuff out of your way. Help you start taking a look at each and every one of these areas. And so what I also like to do is then skip over into Friday. I want to invite you to Revive Your Relationship webinar. It's free. It's for you, whomever you're in relationship with, whether it's your children, your parents, your spouse, whether you just want to work on you. Because you're reviving the relationships, starting with yourself. And you're going to see a lot of really great tools that I offer in there. And also on Friday, it's Good Friday. Yeah. So I have a couple things I wanted to share with you as far as infographics. So let me go ahead and share screen with you so you can take a look at it. All right, let me see. I think, oh, it's not sharing screen yet. Give me 1 second. All right, so these are the things from the week, and I'm just going to show you. It's going to look like a lot of colors at first. Give me a sec. So this is the one that I was sharing with you about Monday. If any of these infographics or anything that you are like, yes, I'd really like that, then just say in the comments, yeah, I really want that infographic regarding eating, like I don't have to eat less. I like that. And I just have to eat right. So just ask me to share it with you. And then also, along with the infographic comes an opportunity for you to set up a breakthrough call with me. So if you would like that, just let me know. Just put it into the comments and I'll make sure to get that to you. My assistant, Maria, who is amazing, she'll make sure that we get that all set up. So that way you can get that on your calendar. And in the breakthrough call, you're going to be able to kind of take a look at, oh, these are the things that will help. Oh, these are the things that I want to work on. And we kind of get a roadmap of what it is that will help you moving forward. And so that's for Monday. This is what I shared with you for Tuesday. And the important thing is for just the opportunity. We have this negative belief about a lie. Like a lie is out to hurt us. A lie is, you know, manipulative. A lie is bad. Well, what if this lie was really just you trying to get through life and that was just all you knew? What if you didn't know another way? What if it was just an incorrect perspective that you got a long time ago growing up? A lie doesn't have to be malicious, but it's still a lie nonetheless. So when we can allow ourselves to begin to take a look at this and go, oh, okay, all right, I see it. Now let's figure out how to work on it. And you might not call it a lie. You might call it a misunderstanding or a misbelief, or you might call it a, what would be another aspect? Limiting belief. That is what I was looking for. We don't realize we're doing it. but it's out of self-preservation. It's out of protection. So it's not done to be harmful. Now, I'm not talking about, I'm going to lie to you. I want to manipulate you. I want to hurt you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the things that are more on a subconscious level that we're really not aware that we're doing, but we see that we're blocked and we keep creating this problem, but I don't know why. And we have a misbelief, we have a lie somewhere in our subconscious mind. We got to get that out. Got to get that cleaned up. We try to positive over it. Affirmations. Well, affirmations are great. We also need to clean up on the other side of things. All right. All right. And then we were talking about this space here, right, regarding Wednesday. It's so important to be able to see that if you are using different things, whether it's alcohol, whether it's relationships, whether it's I'm going to do my nails and do my hair instead of taking care of my life. I'm going to have a drink every time I'm stressed. I'm going to, and these things are not bad in themselves. Right? But if we keep using them, it keeps us in a state of depressing the problem, depressing the issue, depressing our emotions. And before we know it, we find ourselves in this state of depression. And we don't know how to get out. And we just loop back. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll try harder. I'll try harder. I'll try harder. Bam. Well, I was doing so good. I was doing so good. And then bam. Because we can try for so long with something new. But if our subconscious mind has this stuff here that we haven't cleaned up, it is going to come back up. We say it's going to come back up, but ultimately we believe we've put it down. But it was here the whole time. We just stacked something on top of it until it was just like, no, I'm still here. Help. It's calling for your attention. It's calling for a declutter. That's all it is. It's a pattern. It's a belief. It's this like a coding that needs to be cleaned out and recoded. That is why my company is called Sparks Hope, to spark a new understanding, a new hope, a new action. So this can fall away and this can continue to grow and expand. And the action steps get more and more and more and more. You totally deserve that. Now, the other thing I wanted to share with you is this really great infographic that I found. And it gives you just a couple ideas on ways to address things with every age. We tend to think if we don't talk about it, it'll be fine. No news is good news. Well, that could just mean we haven't turned on the TV. It doesn't mean that. So make sure that you're allowing yourself to be able to talk about all topics with every age and with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't tell yourself it's too hard and I don't know how. I'm really good at that one. I am really effing good at that one. And I have to remind myself, what if I did know how? What if I'm just fine at it? Or what if I need some more skills and I need to look it up or I need to ask somebody? It's okay too. I have coaches. That's why I'm offering myself as a coach to you, because I know I don't have all the skills. I can't do it all by myself. The stuff I'm sharing with you, I didn't know it out of my mom's womb. I had a good intuition of a lot of things, but I've been learning, growing, and developing intensively my whole life. And although I'm 46, I know I'm going to keep doing this for the next however long I'm living. Right? And even if I only live to just these few seconds, I'm learning with you. I'm training with you. I'm developing with you. I'm going to die doing this work because it's what's so powerful and passionate to me. And it always has been, even when I was a little kid. I just didn't know it. I remember thinking when I was little and my mother was yelling things and saying awful things. I remember thinking to myself, remember how much this hurts. Remember how much this hurts. Remember how much this hurts. I was 5. So this is certainly something that was meant to be for me. And I didn't want to remember so it would hurt. I wanted to remember so I wouldn't treat others that way. I wanted to remember so I could learn something else. But what I didn't understand is in that promise, that coding, I also remembered how much it hurt. And I had to clean that up. And there are times when I tell this story, oh, and that hurt is so strong because without meaning to, I remembered how much it hurt. And now when I notice it, it's not so much the hurt for me now, it's the hurt for that little girl. guess what? She's not there anymore. She doesn't have to hurt. So when that emotion starts to come up, I can remind myself, you're safe, you're okay. She's not reliving that anymore. She can remember the memory, and it's like a picture that the color's been faded out and the energy and the emotion, she's been healed. She doesn't have to relive that ever again. She's good, she's safe in that moment because I helped her to know that she's okay. And that actually helped her to learn and grow and develop and be who she is today to help you. And that gave her comfort. That gave her, oh, okay. So then this is okay that this happened. So I can let this go. I can believe and know that I'm safe moving forward. We can actually change our past by helping ourselves understand and release those things connected to our memories. Because our past isn't back there. If we're feeling our past, we're feeling it right now. Right? Makes sense? So this is just an infographic I'd love to share with you. I think I'm going to tweak it a little bit, right? I think I'm going to tweak number one, because although we do want to seek professional help, I want to give a little bit more juiciness in that tip right there. So when you ask for this, you'll see a few changes. And I know this is silly, but I love how liquid reflects the reflection of the person. And I find this quite interesting that within the alcohol, it makes a person upside down, right? And in the red. Just interesting. I thought that was really cool. My assistant pulled up that picture. I really liked that. And then last but not least, I did mention to the event, Reviving Your Relationship Friday, right? So if you do want to come, you are totally invited. If you want to invite others, please invite them with, I've heard about this. I'd love for you to go. I'd love to go with you. It is for couples and small business entrepreneurs. However, if you're like, oh, this will still be something I'd like to do individually, you can totally come. It's not just for couples and small business owners, right? But you could be a small business owner or you could be a couple, whatever works for you, okay? So just know it fits for more than just one person. It's just I can only niche in a couple areas. All right, and then happy Easter, guys. We're going to be making sure that we have a good Friday, right? You're going to make sure that you are allowing yourself to be reminded how important you are. Making yourself really get the reason for that day, right? You are so valuable. You are so important. Allow yourself to remember that. I love this. In this holy moment, may God's light guide your path. I'm going to put God there. May God's love grace your own heart, and may his sacrifice strengthen your soul. I'm going to put his son's sacrifice. I guess it's both. And may you remember how important you are. All right, you guys, bring it in. Big squishy hugs. Make sure you take care of you. Let this month, this season remind you. Spring clean your mind, your body, your spirit. You are worth it. Invest into you. Take care of you. And know that you're loved. All right, darling. I will see you next Wednesday. Each and every Wednesday, I am here to bring you tips, tools, and support to make sure that you know how amazing you are, to make sure that you have these tools to be able to know how to change your life. Not just know that you want to, but know how. And don't forget, I have 3 spots available. So if this is something that's interesting to you and you want to take a look and see, does this fit me? Is this really going to help me move into the next level that I've been really wanting to get into? Yes, I can tell you yes. However, have that call with me so you can see for yourself. This is amazing work. And I have clients telling me all the time how they are amazed in just a few sessions, just one. Oftentimes they're amazed by all they're getting out of one session, let alone so much out of the rest. So reach out to me. I look forward to hearing from you. You have a blessed day and have a wonderful Easter. Know that you're loved. Bye, guys.